Has Matt Ishbia lost all the faith of Phoenix Suns faithful? Unfortunately, it's a question we've got to unpack here. Erik Ruby for a shorter edition of PHNX. Suns, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because there's a lot going on in Phoenix Suns land. Of course, earlier this week, Brian Gregory had his official introductory press conference for the Phoenix Suns as their new general manager, and he faced a lot of backlash when he got hired, and to be honest with you, it didn't get any better after his press conference. And I don't want to focus on Brian Gregory as much in this one. We've spent a lot of time doing that on PHNX Suns, whether it was our full recap show that's up and available on PHNX Sports right now, or of course, as time goes on in the future on our 3 p.m. live shows. I want to focus more on Matt Ishbia. And this is a tough conversation for me specifically because like the thumbnail of this video, it's honeymoon over, right? And there comes a point in all relationships in sports, right, where this initial love fest wears down, whether it's just because of time, whether it's because of decisions, the freshness, the newness of a new owner, of a new player, of a new general manager, of a new head coach. It just gradually peters out. Now, that doesn't mean that people don't like that coach, or that GM or that owner, but just that this overwhelming sense of euphoria when it comes to that person is gone. And I think we've hit that point with Matt Ishbia. Now, in full transparency, I have been a staunch defender of Matt Ishbia's approach, not only to the outside of basketball related operations of the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury and the Valley Suns, but also the basketball approach. I'll be completely honest with you. There have not been many moves until recently that in the moment I did not agree with from the Suns. Firing Monty and hiring Frank, firing Frank and hiring Bud, trading for Kevin Durant, trading for Bradley Beal. In the spirit of full disclosure, I was either on a show advocating for or behind the scenes advocating for those moves to be made. So I'm not trying to go back and play revisionist history and say that every decision that Matt Ishbia has made has been a bad one in the moment. And I'm not here to just rip the guy to shreds and say he's an awful, terrible owner like Stephen A. Smith. That's not what I'm here to do. But you would have to be either blind or disconnected from what this fan base is feeling right now to not understand that the majority opinion has felt a shift over the past couple of months. Of course, that's what comes when your team is incredibly disappointing. That's what comes when you push all your chips into the table and then you go broke. Hypothetically. When a fan is promised something and they don't receive it, it breaks trust. And I don't think that trust that was initially there when Matt Ishbia took over from the disgraced former owner, who, by the way, those of you who are arguing to bring him back, I don't have time to talk to you for multiple different reasons. I digress. That trust that was there at the beginning is eroded. Now, at its core, Matt Ishbia is still an owner who heavily cares about his team, is willing to spend heavily to make a team good, and somebody who is a refreshing change of pace from an owner who would sell off players and draft picks for money. All those things aside, when it comes to the practice, when it comes to the results, when it comes to what's actually happened with this franchise, it has felt like they have taken wrong turn after wrong turn after wrong turn after wrong turn. And while I do not miss the disgraced former owner, it is tough to have under his regime at the very end of it an NBA Finals run. Right? A team to look back to and say, wow, wasn't that great? Fair or not to put that on the old owner and put the onus on the new one to follow up on that with completely different set of circumstances. That's just the truth. Matt Ishbia, I believe, is a good owner. who has made some pretty severe mistakes in his time so far. Now, why am I comfortable saying that he's a good owner? Because, again, what did I say before? An owner who wants to win, who's willing to spend, and will stop at nothing to get there. But it's about reining that in. And the inability to rein that in, or the inability to, on a surface level, show the fans that you have some level of self-control when it comes to pushing your chips to the center of the table, when the NBA just passed a CBA that says if you do that, you're going to be screwed, has eroded fans' trust severely. And the Brian Gregory hire, I think, is kind of the knockout blow. I don't think that if the Suns win games and Brian Gregory's amazing, that people won't get sucked back in. Of course you will, right? Of course you will if the team is good, if this process plays out for the positive. But right now, hiring Brian Gregory, putting that guy in front of the media, and having him handle that press conference the way that he did, not like he couldn't put together a full sentence, not like he didn't seem like a personable guy, but somebody who was repetitive crutch of alignment, who when asked what is he trying to prove, how is he trying to differentiate himself from the guy that he also boldly proclaimed his relationship to was the only reason why he was there. The only response he had was, well, I've been in basketball for 30 years, which is great. More than me. You know, more than me. But I'm not the general manager of the Phoenix Suns, nor was I in consideration to do so. The fact that you will not be able to tell really what Brian Gregory is able to do in this role for at least a full year and seeing it play out has not bought Matt Ishbia any time. It's not like fans are in wait and see mode. Fair or not, fans are sitting back and saying, show me now. I was promised a championship. You just promised me championships. We are entering a summer with a potential Kevin Durant trade, a potential Bradley Beal trade, a potential Devin Booker extension, an entire revamping of our entire free agents list, a very important draft in which we don't hold a high pick. Therefore, your scouting is highly important and who you draft is highly important, given how Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro changed so many different parts of last season. Show me now that what you say is true, that you will stop at nothing to win. And while maybe in Matt Ishbia's mind, the Brian Gregory hire is exactly what he meant by that. It is exactly what he wants. It is exactly what he thinks is going to be right, and time might prove him correct as well. All of that aside, as a fan, as somebody who deeply cares about this team, how could you not be a skeptic? How could you not have doubts? Even those who are in my mentions saying, give him time, you're overreacting, give him time, will also admit that they're not the biggest fans of this hire. The defense of this hire is that you don't know if he'll be good or not. So you have to give him a chance. I guess that's better than hiring somebody who blatantly sucks and has a terrible track record. But you're also promoting somebody with inexperience to a role that needs experience in a summer that would maybe call upon the most experience possible. And after rumors of Bob Myers and other front office executives and head coaches and whatever are floated out there, fans naturally get their expectations high. So has Matt Ishbia lost all the faith from Phoenix Suns fans? I don't think it's all the faith, but I think even those who still hold faith, and I would include myself partially as somebody in that category, that faith is a lot less blind than it was before. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe having realistic expectations on what this is supposed to be and what this is going to be is a good thing. But the last thing that you need as an owner, the last thing that you need as a franchise is a fan base that is disenfranchised, is a fan base that is apathetic, is a fan base that just doesn't care. And if a lot of fans aren't there already, if Brian Gregory fails at his role within this first year, if the Phoenix Suns are not this gritty, aligned team that has been promised in these press conferences, fans are done. Fans are out. I know that from talking to them. I know that from being one of them. Now, me, I'm there through thick and thin. I'm there through the dark days, even if this team wins 0 games. I am a #1 Phoenix Suns fan, and I know a lot of you are too. But there are levels of fandom behind being a diehard, and to write those off as not important, I think, is crass. And I don't think that Matt Ishbia is doing that. I don't think Matt Ishbia is sitting back and saying, how can I lose the support of the fans? Oh, I don't care about the fans. I'm just going to do what I want. But I do think that Matt Ishbia has taken more of a precedent to say, you know what? I've done what the popular opinion is. It's time to do what my opinion is because I want to deliver to the fans what I've been promising. Not just a championship, but championships. Will it work out? I'll be honest with you. I don't think so. I don't think Brian Gregory will work out as general manager. Now, I hope and pray that I'm wrong, and I am certainly open to the fact that that is possible. But my gut is telling me this was the wrong choice. And I would imagine Suns fans everywhere's gut feels the same way. Word to Mike Budenholzer. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe as well if you're listening on audio. You're so wonderful. Make sure you rate us 5 stars as well when you get a chance. We'll have, of course, full shows for you on PHNX Suns. And if you missed Brian Gregory's introductory press conference, we have that right here on PHNX Sports. Again, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and we will be bringing you so much more. If you want more supplemental Suns content beyond our hour-long live shows, my co-host, Stephen Prejean Garner, did a series and started it last week calling Where the Suns Went Wrong in 2024-25. You can find that on our YouTube channel. But until next time, try to keep your head on straight. Try to keep some faith, but I don't blame you if you don't.